Hi, my name is Kim. What I'm going to talk about this evening is continuing um, the careers for all the types. Um, I did the SJs and the SPs, and now I'm going to do the NFs and the NTs. All right, let's get into this. So, a couple of careers that would be good for NFs is they can get into journalism, because they love writing, writing articles for something, writing, and this sort of work would come naturally for NFs because they love writing. They express um, their viewpoints, their worldview. Um, when they're writing an article or something. Um, and there it's there is some freedom to this. Get a little bit of leeway in journalism. You could be talking to a well-known person, um, and getting their story, and what the person went through. The journalist asks the questions, um, to draw the person out, and that person, talks about what happened in their life, or they're asking questions to find out what's going on in the world. Um, okay, so that's I think that NFs would be good in journalism. Another career they would be good in is therapy. A therapist. Um, there's so many areas in therapy. Um, they could be psychologists. There's so many areas in psychologist, and to be a psychologist, um, they could. Um, they could be, a professional writer, a person that writes novels, mystery novels, or um, maybe self-help books, or science. Well, not science fiction. Fantasy is what I'm looking for here. They would like to, they write books on fantasy and all that. So they're a writer, and they with writing a book, you do that professionally. You do get a little bit of the leeway, you know, and so these sort of genres, like self-help books, or um, maybe holistic um, remedies. They can write about that. Um, some write, yeah, fantasy books, because they're so fascinated with fantasy. And um, so also the NFs can be, they can also be, just thinking here. Oh, yes. NFs love plays. So they would love to be in a play, to act in a play. Like they would be an actor. And I think NFs would really be good with that because they enjoy going to plays, you know. So I think that NFs could be good actors or actresses in a play, or maybe a movie. Um, And with being in a movie, like acting in a movie or acting in a play, it's like you're playing a character, and you got to be as authentic as possible, when you're trying to embody a character for a movie or for a play. You really have to get into the mindset of who you're representing, like which actor you are portraying. Um, so acting, yeah, that would be good for NFs. I think they would enjoy that. Um, Also, um, they would be good. I'm just trying to think here. Hmm. Um, Trying to think here. Oh, okay. They would be good in, say, human resource for a company. The human resource, the employees. They come to them for maybe for some help or something to do with their job. Human resource. They're there. They're usually kind of way off in a quiet corner. Um, and they're the human resource. They're there, and they make sure that the company is, um, you know, being aligned with, what the company stands for and the standards and all that stuff. They're in charge of that, to make sure that the company is, you know, doing their best, and representing, you know, um, a company that is professional, and they are working within the standards that the company um, has been made. Okay, let's see. INFJs. Some INFJs, and especially for, actually, no, this could be for either an extrovert or an introvert. They could be, I'm trying to think of the word now, social worker. They could be a social worker. So social workers, they're involved, with cases maybe of child abuse. Um, yeah, like child abuse, or also maybe adults or uh, young adults. They, for those who are kind of maybe like been on the streets, or they're trying to rebuild their life. Social workers are there, to, you know, kind of direct the person to, maybe to a therapist, or a psychiatrist or something. But mainly social work is more targeted towards children. Like if there's child abuse in the home, physical abuse or sexual abuse or something. a social worker would come in and they would assess, and ask questions, find out what the environment is about, because they've, you know, um, maybe someone had called the police or something, about maybe a child has been physically abused or sexually abused in the home. And so a social worker would come in and kind of investigate to see, what's going on in the environment. They would ask a lot of questions, write things down, of what's been spoken. And so basically, social workers are the advocates. They're known to be advocates for children. Specifically, I'd say for children, because children don't really have a voice, and so the social worker, they advocate, for the children. They speak up for a child that's been hurt in physical ways, or in a sexual way or something. And for social worker, takes a lot of empathy and stuff like that. Okay, let's get into the NTs. I'm going to only mention a few because my time's getting to that time where I need to shut, camera thing off. Okay, NTs. They are good engineers, architects, designers, inventors. They design buildings. They design houses. Architects, and the engineers are the builders. So they build the house, or they build the house. They're the builders. The architects are the ones with the blueprint and all the information on it, and then they give it to the engineers. The engineers are the ones that build whatever's on the blueprint. So NTs need to be in jobs where they are intellectually, they're challenged intellectually, so they can really use their minds, their logic, problem solving. NTs would be good investigators because they're using their logic, they're using their reasoning, they're looking at evidence, they're deducing, they're deducing, when they find maybe some details or something, maybe on the evidence, and and they analyze the evidence, also making connections, maybe, the evidence, what is it connected to? They find the connection to it. Investigators, yeah, they're the people that, they work along with the policeman in solving a case. Investigators, yeah, they have to use their logic, inductive logic, deductive logic. Feelings cannot be involved. It will cloud their judgment and their thinking abilities. So, yeah, investigators, they're investigating a case, maybe of a murder, or maybe they're hired to, say, to follow someone, maybe someone that's dangerous and that has been maybe following or harassing a person. And so the person that's being harassed or something, or followed or threatened or something, the investigators, they come in and they problem solve. They problem solve and try to solve the case. Okay, I wish I could have mentioned more careers for NTs, but my time is running out. But there's a few, and so I hope you enjoy this video, and I hope you have a good evening tonight. And I'm going to say goodbye.